Thanks for tuning in. This is day 77, I think. We're in Psalm 75. And I just want to say yesterday I was trying to pronounce the name of the psalmist that wrote Psalm 74 and 75. And I chopped it up real bad and um and then afterwards I realized, oh wait a minute. There's a PH at the end, so that makes an F sound, right? And so the name of the psalmist is Asaph. Asaph. And that's just I'm studying three different languages right now, so I look at these letters and I just mix them up. And so yeah. Here's what Psalm 75 says. It says, "We give thanks to you, O God. We give thanks, for your name is near. We recount your wondrous deeds. At a set time that I appoint, I will judge with equality. When the earth totters and all the inhabitants, it is I who keep it steady on its pillars. I say to the boastful, do not boast, and to the wicked, do not lift up your horn. And to the wicked, do not lift up your horn. Do not lift up your horn on high, or speak with haughty necks. For not from the east or from the west, and not from the wilderness comes lifting up. For not from the east or from the west, and not from the wilderness comes lifting up. But it is God who executes judgments, bringing down one and lifting up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup with foaming wine, well mixed, and he pours it out from it, and he pours out from it, and all the wicked of the earth shall drain it down to the drag, to the to the drug, to yeah, to the drag, to the drags. But I would declare it forever. I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked I will cut off, but the horns of the righteous I will lift up. So Psalms 74 was about the temple being destroyed, and the psalmist is saying, hey, God, are you going to keep your covenant with your people that you have made? And then Psalm 75 is the same psalmist, Asaph, and they are reminding themselves that God will bring to account the wicked. And in the context of this psalm, the wicked are those who have gone into Israel, into God's promised land, and just completely wiped off, or completely destroyed God's people, destroyed God's promised land off the earth, and took the people captive. So you're talking about Assyria, you're talking about Babylon, right? Yeah, Babylon, Assyria, within context, but within context as Christians, one day Jesus will come back to the earth, and this is actually prophecy of the second coming in this passage when it says, when the earth totters and its inhabitants, and all of its inhabitants, it is I who keep steady its pillars. I I gotta look more into this one because there's some science going on right here. If I remember right, there's a prophecy, and it was backed up by science a couple years ago, that the Earth is rocking back and forth. It's a prophecy in the Bible that the earth is tottering back and forth like a drunken man. And and there's something going on right now. What happened? The video stopped rolling. So I was talking about the earth rolling back and forth like a drunken man. So it says when the earth totters and all the inhabitants, it is I who studies its pillars. There's a prophecy out there that towards the end days, towards the second coming of Christ, that the earth's gonna rock back and forth like a drunken man, and depending on what you believe that means, there's one guy that says that means that the earth literally will rock back and forth like a drunken man. And there's some science out there that I'm not really a scientist, but I heard a theory out there that the earth really was rocking back and forth like a drunken man, and that's why we have different weather patterns that we haven't seen before, or like global warming, stuff like that. It's because the earth is teetering, just like the verse says. Um, but that is over my head, and I really don't care about it that much. What I care about is that we grow in our faith and we know God. And the way that I would say that this verse, how we can know God, is that we, as Christians, recount God's for deeds. It says, we give thanks to you, O God. We give thanks to your name, for your name is near. We recount your wondrous deeds. Remember, the psalmist is, they just got done writing about the temple being destroyed and God's people being overcome, and the enemy is putting up signs to their own God, and in the place that God's people were worshiping the one true God of Israel. I mean, it just looks like disaster has taken God's people. And the psalmist begins the very next psalm saying, we will recount your amazing deeds. In the midst of the pain, in the midst of the sorrow that we face as God's people, as we get closer to the end times, as we get closer to, you know, the beast kingdom, and Christians are going to be killed even more rapidly, and all that crazy stuff from Revelation that we're going to be talking about real soon. We have this confidence that God is faithful to his people. And just like it says in verse 9, but I will declare it forever. I will sing praises to God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked will be cut off, and the horns of the righteous shall be lifted up. When we do the prophecy study, I'm going to talk about how a horn in prophecy is talking about a leader, a person with authority over a nation. As Christians, we have something similar. We have Christ, we have God, we have the Bible, we have all these different things that we can call our horn of our salvation. And the wicked also have the same thing, but they have the opposite. But I don't want to get too into that right now, because as I read this, I feel like this kind of horn is a little bit different. I mean, it's talking about horn as in being like lifted up in a place of authority, but for everyone, the whole group, the entire congregation within that context. So one day, me and you will be heirs with Christ. And we are technically now heirs with Christ, but one day we're going to literally reign with Christ. And we can talk about all that in Bible study, in the prophecy Bible study. But right now, let's just keep it basic. And I just want to point out that we should be giving thanks to God and remember His wondrous deeds. Remember that God is faithful, and at the end, He's gonna take care of business. And we're gonna look at how that business is being taken care of when I do the prophecy Bible study in a couple of more months. If you're interested in that Bible study, in the prophecy Bible study, like, share, subscribe. So I hope I see you for that Bible study in 2025. With that being said, I think that's it. There's only 9 verses. And so God bless you and have a great night.